First, if you look at the roots of Pan-Africanism and all these philosophical, ideological ideas leading to such ideas as the African Union, the creation of regional blocs like ECOWAS, like the East African Community, like the SADC, the whole idea, even, latest developments, some of the other projects. It's all about African integration, unity in Africa. Africans living in a territory that is known as the last frontier, coming together to project themselves, either at the continental level or also at the level of person-to-person diplomacy. But while, many of these regional bodies have spoken very well about the whole philosophy, whether it's Nkrumah or it is Muammar Gaddafi or African Nigerian leaders and all of that, it's not been able to get to the level of the people. And that's why you have all these issues, whether in Ghana or in South Africa or East Africa, black on black violence, black on black hate, black on black rejection. But the issue again is about the leaders. Because you have these problems when the leaders do not spread prosperity, when the leaders do not pay enough attention to the welfare of the people. And many of these hate politics among the people will seem to occur when there is economic injustice, when there is poverty, when there is deprivation, and then you have rivalry among the same black people whose leaders say should unite. To that extent, I think that we go back to the same leaders who envisioned the united Africa. They are the problem. Let me start with Ghana. In the case of Ghana, it was economic deprivation that even started the problem. In 1969, Kofi Busia was the leader of Ghana. He was the person who introduced what they call the Aliens Deportation Order, under which Nigerians were expelled from Ghana. Over 200,000 Nigerians who had settled in Ghana under Kofi Busia, who were driven away. In 1983, 1985, Nigeria retaliated because there was a lot of, suffering in Nigeria as a result of structural adjustment program, poverty. Nigerians now said, Ghanaians must go. Ghana must go. That's the origin of Ghana must go. That jute bag that has now become popular, that was a popular bag that Ghanaians were using to carry their things out of Nigeria. So, and then now, there's deprivation in Nigeria. Nigerians are going to Ghana, and then Ghanaians are saying, Nigerians must go. Because Nigerians go there and take businesses and occupy space and buy land. They even accuse us of bringing crime into Ghana. They say, they have a popular saying, God is not an alata. In Nigeria, he's supposed to be an alata, whatever that means. And then if you go beyond that, you go to Equatorial Guinea or you go to Guinea-Bissau, Nigerians also have issues with the local population. And then all the way to South Africa. I saw one video where one South African was saying, look, these Nigerians, they come here, they are living in penthouses. They are living in beautiful buildings. They don't even stop at beautiful buildings. They take all the South African women. And Nigerians have something about South African women, knowing very well that South African women are, well endowed. They
carry their problems behind them.
Both frontally and, at the back, the rear, that is of a special category that attracts Nigerians. So that in itself has caused problems. And then Nigerians also have the best shops. Why the local population is still suffering, has not gained anything substantial from the post-apartheid era. So they look at Nigerians, they say, these people, they are over enjoying this South African freedom. But it's not only Nigerians that they target. They target people also from East Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Zambia, from other places. So the residual point is about unity among Africans. It's about the leaders in Africa making sure that person-to-person relation reflects, the larger ideal. NITCOM has done very well. The consulate in South Africa of Nigeria has also done very well by saying Nigerians should be careful. April 27 is Freedom Day in South Africa, and they should not engage in any provocative behavior. They should avoid demonstrations already planned for 2029. So both the consulate in South Africa and the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, they've done very well by telling Nigerians, when you are in Rome, do as the Romans, respect their laws. And then, of course, what has triggered the recent target on Nigerians in South Africa is the introduction of a certain Eze Ndigbo, you know, in Eastern Cape. Yes. Or East London, as they call it. But the Nigerian government has tried to deal with that. But there's nothing that diplomacy cannot resolve. So this is not the time to say, oh, when South Africa was under apartheid, we supported them. No, people should listen to both the consulate and NIDCOM, saying, please, behave yourself, don't join demonstration, don't be provoked, just live quietly in another man's country.
Perfect. Very well said. Very well said. So we certainly do hope that this particular wave of protests will be peaceful because the last wave had left one Nigerian man dead.
So guys, there you have it. That's Reuben Abati of Arise News. And his take on this would have been perfect. His take on this would have been perfect if he had resisted that urge to say things that some people will see as Igbophobic. Now, for the most part, what he said is true. I agree with the part of the leaders of Africa. They can't just continue saying that we should all unite and all of that while they are not governing properly. Many of them, they also use this tribalistic or ethnic tone when they are trying to seek power, when they are trying to create a political base for themselves. Now, I agree with some of the things he said. I don't agree, obviously, with when he's talking about the rear view of lady and front view. You know, that's a 70-year-old man. You shouldn't be saying those things. It doesn't mean he's 70, he's 60 years old. But if you're from Nigeria, you'll understand when we say 70-year-old man. It's more like a meme that is used to point out people that are probably acting in a way that people around their age, people think they shouldn't be acting like that. So they just say, oh, that's a 70-year-old man doing that. So it doesn't mean he's 70 years old. Reuben Abati, I think, is 60 years old. So, but the point is, Reuben Abati already, over the years, some people feel that he might have some bias against Igbo people because of some of the submissions that he has been given, because of some of his opinions, his comments. Some people feel like that. I'm not saying it's like that. I can't say for sure if it's like that. I don't know. But that's how some people feel towards him. And for him, talking about this and pointing it out that what triggered these recent waves of attack on Nigerians in South Africa is because of the so-called Eze Ndigbo of that area. And that is a lie. Operation Dulala in South Africa has been going on for a while. It has been going on for long before that so-called ceremony where the Eze Ndigbo of that particular area did the ceremony. You know, it has been going on before all of that. Even before Operation Dudula, there has been also anti-African foreign movements, African migrants movements in South Africa. So why are you trying to make it look like you want to look for a scapegoat? Why are you trying to make it look like that? And if your heart is so clean and if your intentions are genuine, why couldn't you explain what that Eze Ndigbo, what it means and what exactly it is? Because now you're talking to the whole world. The whole world is listening to you. Because the xenophobic images and pictures, everything that we've been seeing is going around the world. So everyone that comments on it will probably be listened to also. So this it's your chance for you to say things the way it should, but now you've said some things that some people can use for their own bigotry. Because you the Igbo king did not declare himself as a king over South Africa, or as a king that is taking territories or lands. That is more like a representative. I agree that it looks dramatic when you start calling yourself a king, but he's not king of South Africans or king of anybody in South Africa. He's the king, he's like a king for his own people in that area. And both him and the people that and his people, they are all under the law of South Africa. They are all under the law of that area. That's how it operates. It's not an official thing. It's a ceremonial thing. And many African communities do the same. If you go to Reuben Abati himself is a Yoruba man. If you go to the United States, I'm sure there I once saw that there's a place where there's like an Yoruba village. The same thing with Igbos, you find they have communities everywhere. It doesn't mean that those people have dominion or authority over the land or they can take any land. It doesn't mean that they will segregate themselves, that they are the only ones that will live there. No, that's wrong. It cannot happen. So it's more like a representative thing for your people, communities, just like maybe when some people of a different, even in the same country, they have people from different society communities in the same country that have their own groups and they have their leader, and they can be in any part of the country or they can be in any part of the world. Now, in the United States or in Europe, where Africans that go there have their African groups, and even they can call one of themselves like the leader or king. If you ask me personally, I wouldn't even say, what is this thing about king, king, king? If you ask me, I would say just have like a chairman or a chairperson, or just have a leader, director, something like that of your group. But culturally, some societies we use king because it's in Africa, and Africans believe in monarchies. If you come to Nigeria, the community where Reuben Abati comes from is not a matter of pointing at any tribe. They have more. They believe so much in the same thing: kingship everywhere. There's no part of that region you go to that you won't find kings. And so, even in Ghana, where they had that issue of the Igbo king, they also had the Yoruba king there. In the same Ghana, there's also a Yoruba king. So, I agree, maybe some group of people have a culture that is a bit, that is kind of, that draws attention. The culture, maybe because of even what people have seen in the movies. Maybe because of what they've seen in the movies, because the Igbo culture is similar to what you will find so much in the Nigerian movie. So it makes it look more dramatic. So that's what it is, and that's what we should have explained, not to look for scapegoats or to throw anybody under the bus or to make it look like it's more than what it is, and trying to make it seem like that is what triggered the recent attacks on Nigerians. That is ingenious. That is not genuine. That is wrong. And that is misinformation, actually. Because you know that what the South Africans that are protesting or that are marching, um, against has nothing to do with that. They are not even talking about that.
Unemployment rate in South Africa, it's too high. We have unemployed professionals in this country. We have unemployed doctors in the country who are sitting at home doing nothing. But we have doctors who are foreign nationals. It cannot be correct. Can we prioritize our own people first before we go get skills elsewhere? Yes, we do have a scarce skill list, which is a critical list, but not all the doctors that are helping our people at the healthcare facilities are bringing anything special that a South African cannot do. So why don't give our own South Africans the chance, and then we can start outsourcing? I mean, it's illegal what they're doing. If you have an unemployed doctor who is a South African and you have a foreign national who's employed at the hospital, it cannot be correct. And that goes to education as well. We have so many teachers who are foreign nationals, yet we have unemployed teachers. It cannot be correct. We have people that are working in restaurants. That's not critical skills. Any South African can do that. Why do we have foreigners occupying those spaces? Our kids. I was in Eddington a few months ago, fighting for South African kids to be admitted in that school. Yes, it was won, but it's not the only school that has issues. We still have more children who have been admitted in schools far away from home. But yet we have foreigners who are occupying these schools who just live around. It cannot be correct, guys. That's why I'm saying we are going back to the streets and we're coming harder now. Because that's where we belong.
What most of them are saying is that they want to do the business that those foreigners are doing, that the foreigners are doing the business, the African foreign migrants are doing the business that they themselves they can do it, or they want the jobs, or they don't want the African migrants to take their jobs, and and some other things that they are saying that I feel like it can also be it's something that people should discuss about and to see where see the one that is real and separate it from the one that is just coming out from jealousy and hate, because I believe that there are also genuine concerns, and I believe that some of them are also coming out from just hate and jealousy and just you know everything that is not logical. So Reuben Abati's comments on such an important topic, now making mention of the Igbo king, that maybe that is what he didn't even say maybe. He said that is what has triggered, which is misinformation, which is a lie, because that whatever it is that South Africans or some South Africans are doing now, it has always been the case for years. So why do you have to go that route? It's as if you're showing that there is some kind of disharmony among Nigerians themselves. Even Eze Ndigbo, which is a social, political, cultural group for Igbos, has even outlawed or banned that thing of anybody outside Igbo land being crowned king for Igbo people. They've put an end to that, which is rightly so, because even though the intention is not what some people are making it to be, it can also be misinterpreted. It can be seen as something that it is not. And some people that are just bigoted can use it as an excuse to attack Igbo people. So I like the way it is stopped. But what it is not what people are saying it is. Because those people are not trying to take any land, or they are not trying to take any territory. They are not trying to be king of the local people. It's just for themselves. But because the word king is there, it kind of raises eyebrows for some people that don't understand the purpose of that. So I understand that, because people need to go according to where they find themselves. You need to look around, know what is acceptable and what is not. So Reuben Abati's take is not something that will help to quench that rhetoric. It's not something that will help people to understand the real thing. It is something that will mislead people. When he says, in the part where he says that that king and the coronation of that king, that ceremonial whatever, is the reason for the recent attacks on Nigerians. That if that is the case, why are they attacking every foreigner that they see? Everyone, every African foreign migrant. Why? And why has it been going on even before the kingship whatever? So let's be careful while consuming some of this information. That's why I said I will come out to talk about it, so that some people that don't understand these things will be able to get a second opinion about it from someone else. So guys, thank you so much for listening to this. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you next time.